stopping by the obviously authentic channel. My name's Leah. That's spelled Lea and not Leah. So we're gonna be talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey. So this episode, if I had to rate the episode, I would give it a B plus. It wasn't A territory, but it was a solid like a 87. Like it was a really good episode. So let's get into it. So we open up and we're just seeing the girls and how the families have been dealing with COVID and everything, just how they've been dealing with that. So Jackie has decided to throw her husband a 46th birthday party. He normally doesn't really like celebrate his birthday, but because of COVID, I guess, everybody's in the spirit of like wanting to celebrate things and making things more memorable, seeing as the world has shut down. Same like my birthday, I'm a Capricorn. I didn't get to celebrate my birthday the way I wanted to because of COVID and because the state I live in, you can't really do much. So I understand. I thought it was sweet that she wanted to throw him this birthday party. So we found out that Dolores and Margaret got some plastic surgery. So Dolores got her booty lifted, like a butt lift, and then Margaret got her titties done. Both ladies look beautiful. Most of the I would say the majority of the I wouldn't say majority. The cast of New Jersey, they're really beautiful women. So everybody look good. I think Dolores is the prettiest. She just has like this flair to her. I really like Dolores. She got flair to her. But so we end up, I'm gonna like separate, we're gonna go person by person. So I got Jackie out the way. She's gonna be having a 46th birthday party for her husband. Like I just said, Margaret got her titties done. Things seem to be going good for her. Their house is still being built, but I think she's done because I think I saw a video of her doing like a home tour. Then you have Dolores. Dolores is still living with Frank. Little Frankie with his cute self. He is staying with David at the house that Big Frank built. So David said something that I thought like was perfect about their relationship. He said Dolores designed their new home. Frank built the new home and David paid for it. Their relationship is kind of weird. I think Dolores is kind of just like doing what she wants because David hasn't popped the question of like proposing to her, and she just feels like you can't have say about my life if you're not gonna make a commitment to me. And I get why. So if I didn't mention it, Dolores and David have kind of been at odds because Dolores has gotten a butt lift, lipo, and she also got a tummy tuck. And David, being a doctor, he just felt like you don't do surgery unless you have to because of like all the complications that can happen, which I feel like is understandable from his standpoint. He probably knows all the bad things that can happen from doing elective surgery. But Dolores is a grown woman. I think Dolores is in like her 50s. I think she has the right, or maybe Dolores is in like her late 40s, early 50s. She has the right. If she want to get work done, she can get work done. As long as it's by a professional doctor, then there shouldn't be a big deal. But I do understand his frustration. But little Frankie, because of the because of the pandemic, little Frankie is staying at David's house studying so he can prepare to take his, I don't know. I know it's not the GRE because the GRE is used also for graduate school, but I think there's a different one he has to take because I think he said he was getting his master's in like business administration or something, but I'm not sure. But he's staying with David, and Dolores is still staying at her house. But I don't know why she ain't moved in with him, only because she wants to have her own space, and Big Frankie still lives with her. I don't know. I do like Dolores' relationship with her ex-husband. I think it's cool because it doesn't seem like they want each other anymore, but they just have like a flirtatious relationship, but they seem like they're genuine friends. I think it's great that they are like genuine friends because they've been together for so long. So I'm happy for them. I hope her situation with David comes to an end, and not when I say to an end, I mean like them breaking up. I mean to say like a progression, like either they're gonna like get engaged or he's gonna make more of a commitment to her. So that was Dolores. Oh, and then we have Jen. Jen is dealing with a lot. Well, I'll do Melissa because the episode really focused on Jennifer and her family, and then the whole shenanigans with Jackie and Teresa. Um, we have Melissa. So Melissa, their oldest daughter, Melissa and Joe's oldest daughter, I think her name's like Adriana. She just turned 15, but she's not allowed to have a birthday because of what's going on. And they're deciding to take her and her little friends down to the shore so she can have like a beach party. But the little girl has a boyfriend, and Joe is not happy about it. But from what Melissa says, he seems to be like a cool, like a sweet little boy. So I was like, let the little girl date. As long as she not like, that's the thing, you want your kids to have the opportunity to express themselves in the confines of your supervision. So I would rather have my kid where I know who you're dating. I know you're not running around doing things you ain't got no business doing at 14, and you're safe. So if I was Joe, I would try to be open with her, because you want her to talk to you about these things. But I think he's going to try to be the old aggressive Italian dad, which I think is bad, because I feel like we're getting away from that and you're going to push her away. So I hope Melissa keeps the line of communication open with their daughter, because she's going to need someone to talk to. So yeah. So then we have Jen. So Jen is dealing with a lot. So her dad, cute little old man, has moved in with her family. And what she said was that her older brother, I think she said her older brother named Steven. I wrote down his name. Steven, basically her older brother Steven was like, or I think either Steven or Michael. I can't remember which one, because she has like two brothers. But her brother lived with her parents. And he was basically the buffer between his parents, but he just got married in 2019, and he decided to move to Turkey to be with his wife, in Turkey. So when the brother left, I guess the mom and the dad didn't have the buffer, so they had been arguing a lot. And the dad even told Jennifer, like when he was at the house, like he didn't want to be with the mom anymore, because she was just like, she's just mean, and he don't want to deal with her anymore. And so Jennifer says she made the executive decision to move her dad in with her. And I thought it was kind of sad, because it seems like the mom wants to be a part. Her Jennifer's family was having family dinner. So like her sister came over, one of her brothers came over, not the brother that's that's living in Turkey, the other brother. And the kids were all down there, and they're all eating, and her husband. And the mom gave the son food to bring over there, and she gave the daughter to bring over there food. But I thought what was sweet is that she sent coffee creamer. And for someone who was like, okay, that's not a big deal, but to her it probably meant a lot, because she probably notices that her husband always drinks coffee creamer, always put creamer in his coffee. So I was like, she probably was like, they probably don't have the brand he likes, so she sent it over there. So I thought that was nice. I hope they can find a resolution. I don't think they would get a divorce, but like the sister said, she probably lonely over there, but she's very stubborn and critical. And Jennifer said it just seemed like her dad was just getting constantly beat over the head by her mom. So she just decided to like separate them, which I think is important, because I actually have a friend whose family is dealing with that right now. And I was like, y'all need to separate them for somebody gets hurt or takes the initiative to hurt the other one. So I hope they find a happy medium and they can work it out. But you know, they seem to be like well on in their years, so I don't know if they're gonna want to work it out. And then we have the party. So I will say one thing before I get to the party. Teresa was talking to Gia, and this part annoyed me. I don't like how they pile up so much stuff on Gia. Gia had to deal with with Teresa being in jail while she was like, I think in 11th grade. Then her father being in jail while she was a senior. Now she's in college, and then her grandfather dies. And like Teresa's having this conversation with Gia about how she's like, oh my God, I don't have a parent anymore. And it's like, yes, you can have those conversations with your kids, but I think you should wait till your kids get a little bit older. Gia's like only 19 or 18, and she's a freshman in college. Like, she doesn't need to be dealing with the weight of grief like that, like, because he was important to her too, because that was her grandfather. I feel like she should have waited. Like, I would have, like, these are the type of conversations I feel like someone my age, because I'm in my 20s, would have with a parent, not somebody in their teens. Like, yes, we would talk, my parents would probably talk with me about losing someone, but I don't think that my mom would power all of that on me when I was 18 or 19. I think at the age that I am right now, we could have those conversations because I'm older. I just think that, like, they put so much weight on Gia, and I hope she's going to therapy, because I don't know. I just feel like they just, Teresa and Joe, like, her parents just burden her too much with stuff. And, like, I don't like the way they do that little girl. I really don't. But we get to Jackie's, Evan's party, which is Jackie's husband. And the party seemed straight. The food looked good. Although I was getting tired of people saying, like, oh, this is beautiful. I was like, you in a parking lot. Just say, this is nice that you could have it in the parking lot and just eat. It ain't nothing beautiful about tents in a parking lot. And it wasn't even like big tents. It was just like tables. It looked like a little happy hour at a cheap wedding. So, like, well, or cocktail hour at a cheap wedding. So it wasn't even like that. But Jackie was pissy drunk. Sis was living her best life. It was cringe when she was trying to make out with Evan when she did her speech. It was like, yeah. But she seemed to be having a good time. Although when she said the party was supposed to be intimate, I was thinking intimate. When people say intimate, I always think, like, you know, no more than like 20 people. It seemed like there was like at least like 30, 35, maybe 40 people there at that party. Or maybe that's just the way they shot it and they only did have like 15 or 16 people there, or 20 people. But it just seemed like a massive amount of people. But it seems like they got everybody tested before they had this big group of people, which I think is important. Because you don't want to get the wait staff sick. Y'all don't want to get sick. Everybody wants to be healthy. So we continue. The party seems to be going. The only thing that was annoying me was Jackie. I don't know, like, I like Jackie to a certain extent, but I find Jackie to be insufferable sometimes. Like, something about Jackie just seems like she's pressed. Like, I get the feeling like Jackie wasn't popular. And I know she used to be fat back in the day. But I wonder if, like, I don't remember her storyline so much, but I do know it, like, she wasn't, she was very body conscious. But I don't know, it's just something about Jackie that's just, like, it feels disingenuous, or it just feels like she feels like she's so much better and she has to prove a point, because back in the day in high school, people didn't see it for her, and now that she feels like she has reached a certain peak in her life, she needs everyone to know. I don't know. There's just, like I said, there's something about Jackie that's insufferable to me. But because she was just, I don't know, she was just doing a lot at this party. So, and I think the reason why it annoyed me is because she was pressed about Jen not being on time. But I'm like, you and Jen don't like each other. It was nice of you to extend the olive branch and invite her to the party. But if she comes, she come. If she don't, she don't. You here with your peoples. Be happy that your friends are there. Enjoy your friends. Like, I wouldn't even be worried about Jennifer. But she shows up. All the guys show up. I like them. I really enjoy the husbands of this franchise. Like, they all seem like they be kicking it outside of the TV show, and they're real friends. So then we get to Teresa shows up, and this is where Teresa, she did too much and she was wrong. So we're at Evan's party, and I think Teresa, like Joe said during the show, Teresa holds a grudge. And Teresa just don't like Jackie. And I get it. Like I said, Jackie is insufferable. And I think Jackie did too much last season by inserting herself in the Teresa drama. So she trying to get Jackie back. And I was like, I get it. But, like, girl, you could have went about it a different way. And she, like I said, she did too much. So Teresa all of a sudden starts, like, bringing up this rumor about, like, oh, she heard about Evan. And Jen even said Teresa told her about this rumor last year, but like Jen said, if there's no receipts, then just shut up, because Teresa don't got no receipts, because Teresa won't say who she heard it from. But basically, she heard that, like, Evan, basically, when he goes to the gym, he cheats on Jackie. We don't know with who, men, women, or whoever. And she was just asking everybody at the party, which was rude. Like, this was something you do at your house with your homegirls just to kick up some dirt, but not at a party where the person is actually there. If you're not going to confront them, then just be quiet. So Teresa was out of pocket and out of line for that. And she asked Margaret and Melissa and even her brother Joe, and they all was like, girl, we don't know what you're talking about. Margaret tried to like shut it down, but I don't think she did a good job. I think Margaret should have been like, girl, we are at his birthday party, shut up. Like, hush. Because Teresa went around the whole entire party being messy. Like, she went to Dolores. Jen heard it. Like I said, she asked Melissa, Joe, and Margaret about it. Like, she was just doing too much. So it's the day after the party. All the husbands must have been drinking too much because they all, like, Joe had a really bad hangover. Melissa's Joe. Margaret's Joe threw up outside the house, which was nasty. I was mad they showed it. Then we see, I think his name is Bill, which is Jennifer's husband. He was in the bed. He looked disheveled and a mess. And the kids was in his room. And he was just like, you could tell he was like, oh my God, why y'all in here? And everyone's like talking to their significant others about Teresa's mess. And the consensus is normally is pretty much like she had no business doing that. So I guess we get to the end of the episode where Jackie calls Teresa up. And she was like, she want to talk. So they decided to meet at Margaret's house. So it's like neutral territory. Because Margaret also announced that she wanted to take everybody to the lake. So they could do a, have like a little getaway at the lake. But like Jackie was like, we need to talk about this before we decide to go out of town. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like they have this talk. So Margaret gets there. Jackie's all sad. But what I will say is I think where there's smoke, like Teresa said, where there's smoke, I really think that maybe Evan has cheated on Jackie. And maybe she's just like reliving it because she was too pressed about the rumor. Although the rumor was in poor taste, but like she was giving me Monique Samuel vibes off of Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, you too pressed about this rumor for it not to like have a little bit of truth to it. And she was just too pressed. Like, Jackie was too pressed. I understood her frustration. Like, I think she was well within her right to be angry and mad at Teresa. Because, like I said, what Teresa did was wrong. Like, Teresa should have apologized. So, Teresa comes in and she doesn't want to apologize. And she should have apologized because she was out of line. Like, and I think the part that Jackie messed up with is that Jackie kept saying, you're spreading a rumor. And in Teresa's mind, she's like, I didn't spread it. I was just asking people about it. Which is you're spreading a rumor because you're adding to it. And then the whole debacle that like had like Twitter in an uproar is that Jackie used Gia as an analogy to say, what if I said, but that's the thing, she didn't say what if I said Gia does coke while she's at in the bathroom at her college. She just said like Gia does coke in the bathroom. And the way the inflections in her voice, you could tell that she was just making a comparison to how distasteful and how wrong the rumor is. But Teresa went off and called her a see you next Tuesday. Like, I counted, she said it more than 10 times. And I was like, oh, girl, she hot. She hot. And I think she was about to throw something too. Because she grabbed a cup. And like, well, not grab the cup, but she was looking like Teresa was looking to like pick up something and chuck it at her. And I said, ooh. And then Jackie was like, throw it. And I was like, Jackie, hush. Because I was like, she might really throw it. But I guess Teresa kind of like Margaret, so she don't want to mess up the girl house. But Jackie did make some points about how Teresa has been, like, her behavior is out of pocket. And Teresa never apologizes. She done flipped tables. She pushed Andy at the reunion. She threw that glass at that one restaurant when she was at her family restaurant when she was pissed. She told Danielle to grab Margaret's hair, which I ain't have a problem with Danielle grabbing Margaret's hair because Margaret was wrong for throwing that water in Danielle's face. You glad you got your hair pulled instead of a pop in the mouth because you don't throw no water on nobody. That's assault, Margaret. You was out of order for that. But yeah, I like Teresa mad. I don't know where they gonna go for this, but I guess this is how the saga or the big fight between Jackie and Teresa like is going to continue, or like how it's going to continue throughout the season. But I'm excited. I think this season, like I said, the episode was good. I think this season is going to be good. So I'm happy to review it, and I can't wait for more shenanigans and all that stuff. But that is it, and that is all. And like we have been saying and will continue saying, be bravely authentic. Because there's no point for you to be nobody else. Because you're awesome. Bye, y'all.